Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy, CD Rome, back with another episode of Watch Your Narrative podcast. And we have here the finals preview, man. The finals preview. We've had a long season, ZBL, and finally we've got the final two teams here. We are very happy to have Keyshawn's team come in and join us for a finals preview. They've been on one heck of a run. So welcome to the show, Keyshawn, Hunter, Chris, Breezy. What's up, y'all?
Good, was
Good.
good. With it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, we appreciate you taking some time out your schedule, man, to sit down and talk with the Watch Narrative panel. And of course, we do have my co-host who just joined in the building, Big Sush himself. Wavy, what's up, man?
I dislike this whole team.
Oh man. So hey, but no, I appreciate it. We just getting started, man. And once again, appreciate you guys joining in. So it's been quite a season for your team here. I mean, you guys started out very slow and unfortunately you guys found yourself in the play-in. But since the play-in, you guys have been on one heck of a run now. Um, defeating, winning the play-in, and then now, of course, winning your first round matchup. What has changed? Like, what has changed in this postseason for you guys compared to where guys were in the season, regular season?
You want me to answer or anybody?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, basically, I feel like the main thing with us was just communication and then just trust. At the end of the day, just that's basically all it is. Once that figured out, start figuring each other's out tendencies and stuff. Boom, it clicked, and we showed that last series. It just clicked, and then that's simple as that. Once it clicked, it was done. It was locked and loaded.
Yeah. So Chris, from your standpoint, being the point guard, I know a lot of weight of the way the team goes falls on your shoulders. So I mean, what have you seen differently, from your guys, and what are you doing differently as the point guard?
Um, let's say to start off, our comms, man, our comms have changed a lot since I want to say that playing game. Um, Hunter communicating a lot on defense with Brutal, which is Eric. They got their chemistry rocking on pick and roll. They telling us like, look, don't leave the corner, don't leave the hash, just guard yours. So now it just made my job a whole lot easier on defense. Guarding back doors, rotating when Keyshawn go down, just simple stuff like that. But even on offense, like, usually you got a 1 and a 2, but right now we have our back end, which is Hunter, then Breezy, who's playing a small forward, sharp kind of thing, and then Eric is our lockdown / hat sitter. So it leaves me only running the 1. He doesn't handle the ball, so I got to take care of the ball and also be able to shoot. But in those games, just trusting Keyshawn. Keyshawn was mid-game, and all of them was like, hey, look, you 3-hunting a little too much. Look for your teammates, call some back doors. We got our few plays that we got, and just even take them slips. 3-hunting, you can't do it every single game. So you just making the right reads. And like I said, our comms are on point on offense and defense. And that was the biggest thing that made it easier for me. That's why I didn't have to go out there and score 30. That's why you had Breezy and Hunter step up the way they did.
Yeah. No, and this is the time. This is the most important time, of course, the postseason. This is when you want your guys to step up in those big moments. Now, I know Brutal wasn't able to join, but I'll ask Keyshawn this question. Like, so what has Brutal, how important has he been for this team this entire season? Give him some love.
With Eric, man, Eric is the best like spot up shooter I have ever played with, for the most part. With Eric, it's just his confidence. Once Eric has his confidence, he's locked. It's like it's hard for him to miss. Like you hear him in the party just saying like green. That's all you hear him saying. He don't say nothing else. Just green.
That is all you hear.
That's all you hearing in the party. So when he carries that energy, you can't do nothing but love him. Like, and then him on defense, when he played that series and having Ajante shoot. I ain't say he shot bad, but making him work. Like he actually
Yeah.
made him work on that pick and roll with Hunter in the back end, helping them communicating. It's like, yo, Eric, man, you just gotta love him, yo. Gotta love him.
Yeah. Yeah. So now you guys you bring up Hunter on the back end. You guys made I guess a huge change throughout in the middle of the season where Hunter started out the season as a center and you're in the back end, and then you guys basically switched that. What went into that? What made you make that decision? And how do you think that's changed the way you guys have played so far?
Really, it was just with our record. Like we was losing, just trying to make adjustments, see what we can do. Breezy was actually going to, I wanted to have Breezy because Breezy has a big, but he didn't submit it. We're not going to talk about what happened there, but he actually has a big, but we couldn't do that since he didn't submit it. So I know Hunter because I don't trust a lot of people at the power forward, but I knew Hunter. I played Hunter at the power forward many a time. So I'm like, you know what? I have a little bit more chemistry with Chris as playing center with him in previous seasons. So
Yeah.
I was like, let's just try that out and see what happens. So Hunter flourished in the back end. He could take my spot there. Got a little bit more chemistry with Chris, and then it kind of worked out.
Love it. Love it. So in your case, Hunter, so I think traditionally you're normally at that center spot. So kind of how did you feel when you were, thrusted into that back end role? How long did it take you to get comfortable and what do you think? How did you feel
Your
about it?
hair looks beautiful, by the way, Hunter. I just want to throw that out there.
Not gonna lie, I was mad nervous switching because I had never played back in a league ever. So this was, and the first I think 2 matchups we had were against Ajante and Austin, so that didn't help either.
Yeah.
Being just thrust into that, but right away I felt comfortable. Everybody, we kind of switched the way we played defense when we changed it and made it real comfortable for me. So it was a really smooth transition, and that's because of the guys on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything you got there, Chris or Wavy? And Wavy is in transit right now, so hence the reason why he will
Yeah,
jump
I'm
in.
here. I don't want to turn on my camera right now because I'm driving, but I will say, I didn't think that was gonna work. I had no faith in Keyshawn at big, and he knows it. So I do have a question for Keyshawn. What influence did you make your big your way? Did you have any influence within the league that you've seen that you may have took some people's parts of their game? Like, maybe the best big in the league, you know what I mean? Did you get
Oh,
any inspiration?
I got no inspiration from
Oh
nobody.
my goodness. Okay, bro.
So like when I make players, I make it to my play style. So of course I hit up Chris because he's a point guard. I hit him up with a couple things. He sent me a couple bills. At the end of the day, I just made it to my play style. He wanted me to have more dunk. I was like, I don't really go for contacts like that. I still don't go for them, but practice every now and then. But I just made it to my play style, so I didn't get influenced by you, bro. It's just
Yeah. And so Breezy, you were a part of the first championship run with Keyshawn, right?
Nah, this is my
No.
first season.
First season, rookie. All right. So what tell me about it. How's this season been for you? Transitioning to like now league play. League play is a little bit different from just, your normal rec runs and maybe you have to lock in a little bit more, start learning people's tendencies. So how's that been for you?
I've been good, bro. I played with Keyshawn, Eric, and Chris before, just not many runs, but I had to lock in though, for real. Because some games I thought I was gonna sell. I sold one game though. I definitely did. Yeah, I was like, nah, we can't keep doing that, bro.
Yeah.
So then got in
One
the
is
lab with
crazy. I'm
Keyshawn,
not gonna
bro.
lie, bro. One. Come on,
Bro,
Breezy. You came on at the end of the
mute,
season.
mute, bro. Don't mute, bro. But nah, bro. I got in the lab with Keyshawn, bro. It was rats, bro. They say go and get your shots up, bro. Go and lock in. That's what I did, bro. And
Yeah. Paid off. So let's go into like the playoffs. So you guys ended 5-7, if I'm correct here, right? And played against Majin in the play-in. Breezy had an ankle injury, so he was not there for that game.
Yeah,
you
let's
guys did have
talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah,
I was out
this
of
is what I want to
town,
get
yo.
to.
I was out of town.
Yeah, he had a sore
Yeah.
ankle, man. His my
When
player had a
Keyshawn
sore ankle.
strategically told him to go out of town, man.
No,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
No.
But that's where the run began, though, right? So and I told Chris and I told him about it. I've been on both sides of it. I've been on the side where reserve lost me a game, and I've been on the side where reserve stepped in and really helped me win a game. So going into that first round against Majin, reserve aside, just forget all that. Like, how did you guys feel knowing that? I mean, at least you had to lose 2 games. All you had to do was win 1, but you had to lose 2 games. How nervous were you guys going into that play in?
Well, yo, we wasn't nervous at all. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I already
I was
knew.
gonna say
I
we had
wasn't
already-
worried, even though I was out of town. I was not worried about them losing.
Yeah,
No
we was
offense, Chris. No
like,
offense, bro. No offense, yo. No offense, yo.
Well, y'all,
Okay. All right, bet.
we just locked in. Keyshawn said just focus on the playoffs. We could fix it. We tried to get better seeding, but we ended up losing I forgot how many games, and it didn't work out. But knowing who we was about to match up against, Chris's team, we know how Chris played. We know how some of the other guys, but trying to even though we had Terrence as our reserve, our roles were the same. Our play styles stayed the same. We just had to secure 1 dub, and we just focused on playing that instead of going to game 2 with them.
Yeah, get it done on the first try, because the second game probably would have been a lot of pressure to get it done. So, all right, so got through the play-in, and now we're going into the first round, which, I mean, it's a huge matchup, man. Huge matchup. I mean, there's a lot of narratives around that because Keyshawn, last year you were able to win a title with 3 out of the three of those guys, right? Bullock, Uzi, and who's the third? Johnny. That's right, Fly. So in this case, you're with a fresh 5 here. I mean, I know 4 out of 5 you guys play together all the time, but Hunter has had to kind of fit in. So, I mean, how did you feel going into that first round? How did you prepare? How did you have your team prepare going into that first round?
Basically, it's just practice. It's practicing at the end of the day. Practicing. I just came back studying and all that other stuff. Had some other stuff going on. Getting shots up. Shot wasn't looking right. It's crazy. Before, I told Ajante like the week before, I wanted to play them in the first round to just go big or go home. Knock them out.
This is true. I was in the chat. This is true.
I told him, like, yo, I want to see you in the first round. And we got it done. So just practicing. I even got with Breezy. I was like, yo, he be playing with some old heads. I was like, yo, let me see how you play with these old heads. So Breezy get in there, play with the old heads. Yo, Breezy back there doing snatchbacks, fading from the corner, all types of stuff. I'm like, yo, pull that out in the playoffs, yo. So getting them to get that confidence, all that extra stuff, and then it just worked out. So just knocked them out. You feel me?
Bro. Hunter stepped up though. That's
that was my
there
X factor. Yep. I agree with you, Breezy. That was my X factor with Hunt, dog. And Hunter, though, I have immense respect for him as far as 2K goes. I feel like he's too nice sometimes, and whenever you're nice in this chat, people being nice with being like, I guess the word would be slop or Buddha, whatever you want to call him. But Hunter is one of the more consistent players in the league, and I said it to Ajante and Keyshawn in the chats that we had been in. I'm like, bro, if Hunter is on, I don't know, bro. And if Chris figured out his shot, because Chris was not shooting that great, let's be for real. Let's start the season out. He wasn't shooting that great, but he figured it out, especially his shots off of the picks that Keyshawn was setting. I know I had practiced with them last week, and Keyshawn kept on saying, I'm clipping him. Shoot that. Like, he going under. Shoot that. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this about y'all team and what most successful teams have, and that is being able to listen. I got an ambulance coming by. Hold up, y'all. Lord, Talladega.
Yeah. And while that happens, go ahead. You go ahead.
I'm bad. Now they passed by. But like being able to listen, and I feel like that's what you have a bunch of good listeners on this team. like you could communicate something and there's not going to be any slight taken. It's not going to be any excuses made. Hey, next time he does that, do this. All right, bro, I got you. And then the next time that same situation arises, they do it. And I feel like that's what happened with them in beating the Ginyu Force. They listened to each other. They trusted each other. Trust is a big thing on these teams, bro. Like, they trusted Breezy. And Breezy, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I'm proud of you, man. Because you got to your middies. You was hitting your middies, bro. You was hitting your wide opens. Like, you showed that you're versatile. Because we just assumed in this chat that you were,
Yeah, I know, bro. I know.
like,
I know.
We didn't think you was that good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was part of it. I'll be honest with you. So I will say though, like y'all showed up. Y'all really remind me of the team that me and Sid had last 2K, where we were in the same situation, had to play in, and had one of the worst records in the league, but we wound up making the finals. So kudos to y'all, bro. I gotta give y'all credit, and especially to Keyshawn, who's been supremely confident from day one with choosing Chris over Jonte. Because I ain't doing. I'm sorry, Chris. Before I knew you, because me and you done got real cool these last couple weeks. But before I knew you, ain't no way. And you know what? I'm taking you over Jonte. But he did it, and it worked out for him, bro. It did. Look at my nephew. Look at my nephew.
So for those who who don't know the story behind that, Keyshawn, go back to the last offseason and tell us a little bit about kind of what went into that.
All right, so just to clear this up, man, because everybody keeps saying I ain't draft the right people, yada yada yada. I did not know how many points I had in the beginning of the season. So it started off with 13. You feel me? Everybody know. And they said it was in the air that I was supposed to get extra points since our team didn't resign. I didn't know even from the beginning that I could resign everybody with the same amount of points and just run it back with the same team. I did not know that. But then Uzi put his name as captain. I didn't know what was happening. Then after that, when the free agency went out, everybody got their points. It was like everybody's going crazy. Austin started signing back to back. Everybody started getting taken. I'm like, dang, yo. I hit the commission like, yo, how many points I got? How many points I got? Nobody responded. I hit up Neil. I texted Neil, yo, how many points I got? It was like, we figuring it out now.
We gotta shout that out too, Keyshawn, because the commission they were awful. They were awful because Keyshawn would have had enough points to sign 2 4-stars if they had went with the way, and we all know who that second 4-star would have been. Like I shouldn't be being an analyst right now. You feel me, bro? I should be like these guys. But he's I don't know. We definitely got, that's something that needs to be fixed, is communication. Because if you're a champion, you gotta have some type of incentive for winning a championship. And he was a championship winning captain, so he should have had X amount of points to sign, another big name guy. So I'll let you keep going, Keyshawn.
But at the end of the day, it was just, I knew for a fact I wanted to get Hunter. So Hunter was one of my main people because Hunter gave me a lot of problems last season. I ain't gonna lie, he gave me a lot of problems, gave me a run for my money. So Hunter's one of them names I was like, yo, let me snag him. So I hit him up, Discord, like, yo, let's run it. I told him it was gonna be one of the easiest rings we was gonna get. I couldn't promise that, but we still here. So we didn't get the ring yet. We didn't finish the chapter, but you feel me? We still there though. So after that, it's just hitting up Breezy, hitting up Chris, hitting up Eric. They needed more people because Terrence put in as a reserve. I hit up Terrence, trying to get Petty, all them. Petty signed with James and them. I'm like, dag, yo. So everybody started dropping like flies. I'm like, dang, we need more people. So I hit them up. Commissioner allowed them to join. Got some runs in, and then so it was easy money from there.
Yeah, and it's crazy because in your case, DPOY last year, and really was a catalyst, obviously, to that championship run. So, I mean, did you feel, just be honest, because it seemed like it all happened very fast. I've heard different parts of the story. I heard from Bullock, I heard from you, but once Uzi became captain, and then next thing, you had to pivot very fast. So, I mean, so how was that them first couple of days? Because I remember seeing you put in the chat, literally telling people, do not sign. Please do not sign. So, like how was that, man? How was that, trying to figure that out?
Yeah, it was like a stab in my back, yo. I'm like, yo, these guys, they going there. I'm hitting up Johnny. Of course, Johnny going to challenge Jonte. No shade. That's a boy,
That's
so
boy.
I
Yeah.
respect it. So they all signed together, three of them. Then they get sat. I'm like, dang, then Martin signed. I'm like, yo, they about to form the Avengers over there, yo. What the world I'm gonna do? I'm over here on my lonesome at this point. I think it was just me and Hunter now. So I'm like, oh no, me, Hunter, and Chris. So I'm like, yo, I don't know what I'm about to do. I was like, down. I'm like, yo, might be clipped, but we figured it out. Feel me? It all got
Yeah.
situated. I'm glad it worked
Yeah.
out the way it did.
Yeah, so let's go into the series, and then because I want to make sure we cover what you guys have coming ahead of you, because it's you guys are in the finals, but the job is not finished. But so game one, you guys actually lost game one. And Martin had a very spectacular game, shot 10 for 13 with 25 points. Keyshawn, you had a excellent game yourself with 24 and 11. But after that game, like, how did you guys feel after game one? Were you guys a little bit nervous, or going into game two, like, hey, what adjustments did you guys have to make?
That's all Hunter, yo.
Facts,
Hunter,
yeah.
You can
Hunter
say
was
got
like,
it, Hunter.
So we got locked in, man. Like we can't. It's the playoffs. But we for
That's
real,
what he
we
said,
didn't.
bro.
We just didn't do anything we practiced before the series in that game one, and so that was just kind of what I said. I said if we do what we knew we're supposed to do, we're not gonna lose another game. And then there you go.
That man Hunter said, "For the love of God, we better not lose this game." You
nah,
locked
shout
in,
out.
yo.
I would say shout out Chris too, because
Thanks.
we was calling out stuff and he was just listening. Like he didn't get no backlash. We called out something, he would just throw it, pass it, he would just do it. So that's a lot of trust right there from a point guard, especially. So
Yeah,
shout out
Yeah.
too.
and tell me, let's go into that a little bit, Chris, because I did see you put in there that I think you were 300 a little bit, and I think Keyshawn may have mentioned that the way Johnny plays on the back end to take advantage of the slip. So tell me what did you see? And as a point guard, how is that when someone is telling you how to, because some people, I'll be honest, like I play with them, some point guards do not like you to tell them how to run the offense.
Yeah.
So tell me how that went down, and what type of attitude do you have to be able to take that?
I mean, especially after first game, we was getting our butts handed to. We was missing a lot of open shots, including myself. And like Chris said earlier in the season, I was missing a lot. My shot wasn't right. Wasn't playing as much. But then when Keyshawn was like, come playoff time, we need to play a little bit more, be in practice. But going into that game after the first game, sometimes, like you said, you have an ego. And, I've played for a while, used to play for money growing up and stuff like that. And it's like, I got to score, I got to be aggressive. But in that game, we got to take advantage of some matchups. So going into that second game, Keyshawn was like, look, you can still be aggressive, but if you don't have none, because Sad was playing good defense the whole series, and he was taking away them threes and stuff like that. So the next person to do is attack everybody off ball. Breezy had a Jonte on him, and I don't mean that Jonte don't got no defense, but when you 6'3", you got a 6'8", high dunking build, you can send some cuts and just implement a lot of different stuff. But going in that game, especially me and Keyshawn's chemistry, is like, hey, look, I'm coming up the court, take this slip, and I know Johnny doesn't reach at a lot of slips. So that as the moment Keyshawn gets the, first two steps in front of him, I could just throw it with ease because he's not tapping square.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I trust the comms. And as long as we consistently keep scoring, then that's when I can start being aggressive again.
Yeah.
So it was just a different pace.
Yeah. And honestly, that game too, I mean, for you, spectacular game as a point guard. I mean, 13 assists, no turnovers. Say it again.
I didn't even know
13
that.
assists, no turnovers. Yeah. So I mean, that's what you want out of your point guard. I mean, that's what you want out of your point guard. And I mean, Keyshawn, my gosh, 17, 13, and 8 filled up the stat sheet. Hunter lags out during the game.
Yeah.
Like, what goes through you guys' mind when Hunter lags out? Because I'm watching the game and I see it. I'm like, oh my goodness, man, don't lose because of this. So what went through you guys' mind at that point?
Yo, it got spooky, yo. Like,
Hey, bro.
We was all like, what we gonna do?
I think we
Yeah,
had saying Eric, he need to get a stop though. He said Eric get the
I don't
stop
know.
and Chris
Do we have a
need the
lead?
score, yo. Yeah, we
Yeah,
was up by
it was-
3.
The good
Yeah,
part
that's
Three or
was y'all
two.
had a huge lead at the time, even though they cut it
Yeah.
down. But y'all had a good lead, so that was the saving grace with that. Because me and Hunter, we kind of the same when it comes to lagging out of games, bro. Like that will send us over the edge. And then the way to have your composure too to come back into the next game and do the same thing over again. Because I know me personally, when I lag out and it's like we're playing a season game or league game or anything, I'm on edge the whole game, and I'm probably not going to play the best because I'm worried about lagging out again. So wait for Hunter to let that go, come back and play his role in that. Like again, kudos to Hunter. I'm really I'm shocked and surprised at this team, but then I'm not because, like I said, I've seen these guys in these type of situations and they balled out. Like I think one game Keyshawn had what 20, 25 points.
I think that was game 1. He had 24.
Yeah, and I'm like,
13,
ooh, if he's doing this and Chris can get going or one of the other guys can get going, they got a good shot to win this series. And they did what they had to do, man. So
for sure. Yeah, and make sure I mention Breezy that game 2 had 16 as well. So, and which then of course you guys win game 2, which then goes into game 3, right? So this is for all the marbles, and let's make sure that we lay this out the way that it needs to be laid out. Like Ginyu Forest, that's the name of their team, correct?
Yeah.
They were projected to win the title from the moment that this team was constructed. You have Bullock, who at this point, 4-time champion. I did the table pod, which kind of did cause a little bit of ruckus, a little bit, and but like that team was projected to win. They were the best team in the regular season, and you guys were able to going into game 3. One game takes all. What was the mindset for you guys?
Bro, after Hunter lagged out, I feel like that was like, and we won that game. That was like a momentum. Like we was like, yo, they don't want it for real. But I think I said that, and then we just said they don't want it for real. After that, you had Martin doing what he was doing last week, saying he leaving the team, all this other stuff. So I'm like, yo, I know their locker room is terrible right now.
Yeah.
After finding that out, they lost. I'm like, yo, I know they're gonna be like nervous a little bit coming to this game, and then we just took advantage of it. So that's all.
I mean, yeah. Even after Hunter lagged out, like he was still in our ear, in our comms, just saying different stuff. But like the difference in that second game, even though Hunter was gone, when Hunter was on the court, Breezy was hitting some big shots. He was getting some great looks. I think Hunter only missed 2 shots the whole series.
I think it was
And
one.
so
Dog.
that made,
I think it was
or
one.
one, yeah, either one. But that made a huge difference because previously, they both were struggling with the shooting. He was switching builds. Keyshawn was switching builds, but they was locked in and hitting consistent. I had those 13 assists with no turnovers, but they just did not miss. So the fact that as a PG being able to pass and trust them to make these shots so that we can stay in the game, it made it 10 times easier for game 2, game 3. And that's where it started. Like, I don't know how many threes I started taking, but the difference between those other games is I was shooting way more efficient. That's when it allowed me to be aggressive and then be passive to hit Keyshawn and then on some good looks.
Yeah. So going into game 3, I'm looking at and Chris once again, great assisted turnover ratio. Again, you had 11 assists, 1 turnover. Everybody in that game had double-digit scoring. So you got help from everybody. Everyone shot above 50%. Minus little Chris was 5 for 11, but we, still great shooting. Like, I just got to be, people going to fact check, man. I got to bring it anyway.
It's fine. It's fine.
First half, you guys scored 17 points. The first quarter 17, second quarter 9, and then in the second half, you guys scored 43 points in the second half. That 43 points could have almost beat their team with that only scored 49 points total. Like,
it's crazy.
What happened? Like, what did you guys see? Like, what broke loose for you guys to say, "Oh yeah, it's over with. These guys, it's over with."
Yo, they was just
man,
good.
Eric, yo.
Yeah, Eric and Hunter, man.
Eric and Hunter was getting us some big stops, and
He
then
was
just
playing
the
good
slips
defense.
on offense, and
From the jump, yeah.
then the slips, and then me just be able to make a read or Chris making a read on offense, and then you can tell they were just breaking apart come second half. Like they just didn't want it, so
Can
we
I?
just took
They were
advantage.
And I
switching
got
up
a
a lot
question for
too.
y'all. I got a question for the team because I want you to see how smothering this defense was. CD Rom, 8 shots from Ajante in total, 9 shots from Martin in total, 3 shots from Sat, 9 shots from Johnny, and 9 shots from Uzi. In what
Man.
world, in a game time situation, is Ajante taking 8 shots? In what world, in a game closing, death being pointed at the planet game, is Martin taking 9 shots?
Yeah.
And then Uzi and Johnny, they kind of fall in where they fall in, but that defense was smothering, bro. For them to only get up under 10 shots for, my personal 2K chat GOAT, that is crazy, bro. Like I didn't even realize. I was looking at this earlier today, and I didn't even realize how suffocating that defense was. So again, what goes into that? Like, were y'all like? Did y'all even realize that Ajante only had 9 shots? Did anybody click the screen and say, "Hey, he's got 9 shots. Mark's got 9 shots"? Like, what goes into that? Like, how did y'all limit him so much on offense?
What
It's
I
really
peeped is the heat check. He hit I think almost 2 shots or close to 3 shots in a row early in the game. And
Right. You need 3 to get heat check. Yeah.
I'm telling Eric and Hunter, like, look, just don't give him no jump shots because if he gets his heat check 3, he's gonna start feeling himself. And when you get heat check and you start hitting some shots and going in net, that's when you start just doing everything that you want.
Yeah.
So the whole game, shout out to Eric and Hunter again. Their comms the whole entire series was on point. At one point, Eric told Keyshawn, "Don't leave the corner ever unless I tell you to." And Keyshawn, he took that to heart. Was like, "Look, you tell me." And
That's
it
trust right
worked
there,
out.
bro.
That
That's
is,
trust.
man. That's big trust.
Yeah.
That's big trust.
So with that, because like I said, I know Keyshawn was playing the back end power forward role at first, and then I don't know if Hunter's still here. But Hunter, if you're there, if you can talk, what is it about Eric on defense? Because he's not here. What is it about? Like, what made you begin to trust him? Because I feel like at the beginning of the season, especially in the games versus us, there really wasn't that trust that you need for your power forward to have. Like, we know what Keyshawn could do at the power forward position. He's won a DPOY, but to switch, what was it, game 8 or 9, your center and your power forward roles, what made you feel how can I don't want to disrespect anybody.
I got you. I mean, the baby might make an appearance, but
oh, you good, bro.
Eric, he always communicated, and that was what made the transition seamless. Was whether it was when I was on center and I was playing corner, he was always communicating me there. He was perfect at communicating on defense, and so when we made the switch, it just made it easy because it just meant I was just playing a different position, but nothing else on the team really changed in that aspect.
And I'm not gonna lie, fellas, I've been on the newer build that I got. I've been playing that back end. That junk is fun, bro. I'm like being able to, stop a center or catch a roll or get a steal. Like, y'all do that perfectly, and the builds that y'all made are perfect for this type of defense that y'all running. And y'all are gonna need this same defense versus
Yes.
Bape Brigade. I don't know if Sid wants to move on into that, but
yes, go. Yep. Go.
There we go. Okay, so Austin, he's one of the dominant players in the league. We gotta give it up to him. He took a team that he basically took the team that I had and made it to the finals. So, how do y'all plan on attacking him? Because I know, he was expecting to, and I don't care what we might do a podcast with him. I don't know. But he was full on expecting to play Ajante them. So now his whole entire world is shook up with that. How do y'all plan on attacking him? Because, when it gets fourth quarter and it's a close game, y'all know Austin gonna try to take over. He put his helmet on and he gonna try to run through that wall. So how do y'all plan on
or you don't have to give away your whole game plan, but like, how do y'all? What do you think some things that you could do to stop him from being Austin? Like, y'all gonna try to run the same defense as y'all did against DeJounte? Because he kind of plays the same style set, but DeJounte is a little bit more better with the ball handling. So, what do y'all feel y'all need to do? And I'll start off with the captain, Keyshawn.
Honestly, we just gotta lock in. It's just I can't give away the whole game plan, of course.
I know, bro. Please don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a game plan question. But
as long as we communicate and play I don't say play exactly, but with some minor tweaks, how we played last series, it should be smooth sailing.
They got the season series versus, bro. They got the season series, and it was close games.
Okay, and that if you want to go there, we didn't have teammates one of them games. We had a sub one of those games. We beat them once when I was on the back end, but Hunter's there now, so Hunter is just as good as me, honestly. So
y'all gonna allow him to play with Terrence?
But look, honestly, I want to give Austin flowers too, because Austin is an underrated defender as well. So Austin don't get talked about.
Yeah, he played that role, bro. He played that role like he be getting cooked. He don't know what. Yeah, Austin, he played awesome.
Austin played defense because Austin on the outlets, he plays the break like he's one of the best break defenders. Like you cannot throw it his way on the break. So just paying attention to small stuff like that, tendencies and all that.
Yeah,
we should be good.
So Chris, in your case, you have now, to me, thrusted your name into that top point guard, spot, right? So you just faced off against Bullock, what most would say the top point guard in the league. And then now you're about to face off against Austin, who, once again, top point guard in the league. They're a little bit different. So how are you going to approach this series, with this matchup? And what are the differences you think in Bullock and Austin?
They do kind of have a similar play style. If you look at all our builds, the difference between ours is probably passing and dunking. They both have really good finishing point guards. I don't necessarily. It's not my number one thing to be able to attack the rim. But the difference between them two is, I would say, as far as getting up threes, I think Ajante has gotten a lot more aggressive with 3 hunting and being really good at it, especially with his build switching. Austin, to me, is just, he takes what's there. He doesn't like to force a lot. He's very efficient in his looks when he's attacking the rim and what shots he's taking. But to me, the difference is probably just, I guess, shot selection for them. I feel like their passing is just on the same tier as me too. It's just different play styles in the little ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I want to make sure because you're gonna have to now. George is gonna be guarding you, as the lock, and George has been pretty good at that. I mean, like as Chris mentioned, you guys did lose the series with them in the regular season. How comfortable do you feel with knowing that, all right, I got this guy that's about to line up with me and basically chase me down the court the entire time?
I feel like I've been pressed the whole series. Like, again, I feel like the difference between me and every other team is I don't have a secondary ball handler. So I got to be on point with making my open shots, which I struggled in the beginning, which put us down in all those series. So being that one ball handler, I just really have to be effective on the break, my passing, and not put myself in the bad spot. George likes to press, and he is on his lockdown. Even when I beat him up the court, he still catch up, and it gets difficult. So going into this game, just talking to my teammates, making sure the comms are good, communicating, looking for open shots. And just not 300. I've gotten in the habit some games, especially with this 99-3 build, 300. But my focus, I'm not trying to drop 30 and 15. I just want to win a game. That's all I care about.
Yeah. And for you, Breezy, this is first season, first finals. So the rest of these guys have a little bit of experience in that realm. making it to the finals previously before. What are your expectations, and how do you feel? What do you need to be able to do for this team in order for you guys to win?
Just hit shots, bro. That's all I need to do. Lock in, bro. It's like I trust my team. Like whatever they gonna tell me, I'm gonna do, bro. So I just gotta lock in and hit my shots, bro.
Yeah. So now there has been rumors. A lot of people have said this, that the finals was won by whoever won out of you.
It was me. I said it.
But it's not just what it's been. Plenty of people who have said that, right? They even the other team has heard. Bape has heard some of those. That conversation as well. So, but this question is to Keyshawn and to Hunter. How do you guys close that door? Close that door. How do you guys stay focused and locked into, because that can kind of mess up your mind if you think ahead of time, like, oh yeah, we're good to go, we're gonna win. How do you guys stay locked in?
Nah, I even told him before, take every game at a time. We didn't take Chris and him lightly. We weren't even talking about John Taylor.
Yeah, I did.
No, I mean, Apple beat y'all, of course, but the first week I told him, I was like, yo, locking in this playing, because if we're gonna beat them. After that, focus on the next opponent. Because I think Eric asked me about Austin or something like that. Yo, we're not even worried about that right now. Let's focus on this series, on to the next. Feel me? Yeah. So just locking in on that, make sure we focus on the team we playing. So now we're in conversation about them, and once we knock them out the way, so smooth sailing.
Hunter?
I realized I'm not a very fun person, because right after we won, the first thing I said was, "Hey, yo, we're not finished yet. This is just one series. We still got the finals." So that's just
it, bro.
I love it.
That's just one thing.
Bro. I like
he was locked in the whole entire
bro.
Like even because the first game I said, I'm over there talking like, yo, we losing, like this. There's no way we missing all
Chris
these
was
shots.
down bad.
Yeah, I really was. But the first thing Hunter said was, "Hey, yo, keep your composure. Let's lock in. Let's go into game 2. Even with that lag out, look, just
a glue guy is always necessary, bro. A glue guy, he's the perfect.
He was like that
the
whole entire time.
Oh my god!
That's what that was what the difference was. Yeah, I wish y'all could hear our comms, but that was the most we've ever communicated. That was the most we've ever been locked in. Like just every possession we took, we didn't take lightly. Eric stepped up and played a big role. Like you say, he kept Jonte to 9 shots or 8 shots. He really he surprised all of us. And Eric's not like all them, other lockdowns of spamming square and reaching. He plays strictly shot contests.
So, Chris, and it's crazy. We were talking about this yesterday. I said Eric plays lock the way I feel you should play lock. You're trying to get people to miss shots. You're not trying to get steals, because in 2K you could get a steal and then somebody could come and steal it right back. And I feel like he was the best play. We hovering around it. But he's been the best lock in the chat this year. In my opinion, I fear him more than any other lock that we went against, because he's making people miss shots, bro. He's stopping you in the paint. He's stopping you on the perimeter. He'll get the occasional steal here and there. He's not the spamming square the whole time and 5 fouls at the end of the game. No, he's getting in your head. I feel like he got into a lot of people's heads mentally this season, and it really showed up in that playoff series. So kudos to Eric. I wish he was here. I really do. So
yeah, we try to get him. He plays an interesting role, because we do have him at the hash, and if you look at his build, it's not like every other lockdown. Like he has I think not 99.3, but like 96, 97, which is not often for a lockdown at all. So that means his arms, his wingspan on his lock is not that big, but he has to play sharp and be the defensive leader at the same time. So he's always played that, because that's my brother. We've all played 2K together, and he's always had that sharp role. And he listens. And when he gets his confidence going, like Keyshawn said, once his confidence is when he's locked in and his confidence is at his all-time high, it's like he's just doing whatever he pleases. He doesn't go around spamming square. He just rotates and just plays good defense.
He plays defense like you should play defense. You're trying to we trying to create turnovers, but sometimes turnovers are not going to happen. But when your team is missing shots and you're getting the board and you're able to get on the fast break and score, I mean, you become unbeatable in my opinion. So
Yeah,
that's why I'm very high on y'all right now. So good
yeah.
word.
Yeah, and and I completely agree with that. I think, that's why I love doing these pods, because you're able to shine some light on guys that don't get the light shine on them that much, because for the most part, you know Chris, who's the point guard, and Keyshawn, who's the center, those are the two most important positions in 2K, and we all know that. But when you got a full team, and the things that we don't hear or see, it don't show up on the stat sheet, it's Hunter saying, "Hey, y'all lock in," or saying, "Hey, let's keep your composure," or saying just simply, "The job is not finished." The job is not finished, because to me, when you have to be very careful of when you win a game and beat the team that everybody expected to win, not to get too high, and then you go into the next series and you fall flat. So the other team, which is Bape, they have selected not to do the finals preview. They want to stay locked in. They don't want
Oh,
to.
brother.
They don't want to ruffle any feathers, or I don't know. But for the narrative right now for them is that they're the underdogs going into this series. What
I
do
was
you
gonna
guys
say,
feel about that team? How confident? I mean, of course you're confident to say, "Hey, we want to win this series," but what has to happen in order for you guys to win this series?
Communication. Communicate, win the game. Simple as
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
And I think if we play play Austin team like we played a Jonte team, I think we're gonna win, bro. No offense to them, bro. But last game, bro, we was locked in, bro. And once we get in that mindset, we got that chemistry now. Yeah, it's over for people, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, look, even Breezy at all time, shooting percentage, defense. He's a completely person from the beginning of the season. Eric's toned in a lot better. What'd you say?
Now I say we unlock Breezy, yo.
Yeah, right.
Hey, and listen,
We unlocked.
Keyshawn and the rest of the team, and I'm talking to Breezy right now. Your boys, I'm talking about, it was war zones in those chats after y'all would lose. Defended you. Chris, even Chris in our personal text messages defended you, bro. I'm just telling you, y'all a team for real. Cause I'd be like, bro, I don't know about him, and he'd be like, nah, Breezy shooting clip, like blase, telling me different stats that you had and stuff. So they were very high on you, and I mean, after them 3 games, I see why, bro. Like, I was even in the chat with the fellas, and I was watching the game. I'm like, bro, this dude hitting middies. Where did this come from? Where was this all season? So if he can keep that up, I mean, I know who I'm picking to win the finals, but if he keeps this up, it's easy money.
Yeah.
I
still feel like we're the underdogs, though.
Definitely.
We again lost in that series.
DPOY, top 1A, 1B point guard.
If you look at it, right, we've lost to Austin. Austin, I don't know the average of Austin versus our team, but he scores at a high clip.
He be cooking.
And it's not like we're playing terrible defense. We're not. It's just at the end of the day, you got to score more than the other team.
Yeah.
And he gets buckets. But when we going into the series, I don't feel like we're have the favor, or people just seeing that we just beat a Jonte, 1A point guard.
I agree.
Versus 1C or 1B, whatever you want to call it, but we beat him because of Eric and Breezy, the whole team. I don't feel like that game was strictly on the point guard change and just different stuff, but the 4 of them, they took over that whole series. I just listened, and that's how we got to go into this game. It's going that way too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Hunter, what do you feel has to happen in order for you guys to walk away champions here?
If we play defense like that, I think we can beat literally anybody, anybody in the world. So as long as we go in with that same mindset on defense, because we saw in game 1 what happens when we don't do what we're supposed to do. So as long as we just do that, I have all the confidence in the world in this team. So I think we're good.
Love it. Love it.
And again, I know like I troll Keyshawn on a constant basis, and I troll. I mean, we be up at 7 o'clock in the morning trolling each other with different stuff, but like immense respect, bro. Because you took a leap, and you know you don't feel like you took a leap. You don't feel like it. You knew what Chris is capable of. I've seen Chris play all of 2 games before this season. So, and the one game he played, y'all won the finals. But like you gotta give Keyshawn GM of the year too. And I'm gonna say, and the reason being is that decision you made at the beginning of the season. You know, Ajante was like, I'm not playing point this season, and you was like, okay, well, bet I'm gonna go get Chris. And you got Chris in here, you got Breezy in here, you got Eric in here, and then you went and picked up Hunter, which is a sneak because I wanted.
You breaking up, though.
Yeah, break up a little bit. Yeah. 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 Chopping up. So, but yeah, I do agree, Keyshawn. You definitely took a different route with the roster, and honestly, it's been able to pay off. And then what's even more important that sometimes you can make a rash decision because of we're losing games. How I'm not gonna say how close were you, but how did what I guess what were you seeing like that made you be like, you know what, if we keep doing this, man, we're gonna be good. We're gonna be good. Like, what did you see in this year?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Nah, yo, I ain't gonna lie, yo. After like the 4th L, I'm like, yo, I might have to make something shake, yo, because it ain't looking hot. But I started looking at film and just noticing the small stuff we was doing, and then looking at the box scores and all our
They were
games that we
close.
lost.
We're
Yeah,
close.
we lost every game. It was like a 5 to 8 point margin. We have never got blown out. It would just be second half, we just start losing.
We just couldn't close a single game.
Yeah,
We had a lead in
So-
almost all those
so
games in the fourth
Keyshawn-
quarter, and something would happen that would not go our way, and then it ended in an L. So
Keyshawn, I want to clear this up because we've been talking about this all week in the chat. How close to you were you for trading? How close were you to trading for Greg? How close? Be for real. Be for real, because he keeps talking about messages and I was holding off on Chris. How close were you to trading for Greg?
I ain't gonna lie, yo. I was mad close. I was this close. I was this close to pulling the trigger.
Woo, that's close. That's close, bro.
You feel me? I said, I started looking at stuff we was doing. I'm like, yo, we good, yo. Cause I know Greg. Shout out to Greg. He a good player, but Greg come with a lot of
We
stuff.
know.
Yeah,
Good.
Greg come with a lot of energy. So I'm like, do I really want that to happen to our whole locker room, to Debbie down everybody else and point out mistakes? That's like, with the personnel that we have in the locker room, I'm like, yo, I don't really know if I want to do that. So, you feel me? Just sticking with my team. I even did that last season. So,
yeah,
it's close to trading people. So, just sticking with your team. You feel me? If you got some dogs with you, they going to run together. So,
yeah.
All right.
Love it, man. Love it. Hey, well, listen, it's going to be an epic finals, I think. Two really underdog teams, you can really say. I know you guys feel like in your case you're the underdog because being, having to go through the play-in. Austin, they didn't have to do that. Austin teams, they didn't have to do that, or Bape, they didn't have to do that. But you guys had to go through the play-in and then go through what many would have probably picked to win the finals before the playoffs started. So, I mean, and I want to put a lot of emphasis on that because that's not easy. You do have to stay locked in and be on one string. And obviously you can tell that by the way, like game 3, second half, I mean, you guys just, I mean, you broke the dam down and just the floodgates just went crazy. And so if you guys have that going into this series with Bape, then you guys, I agree with Hunter that, hey, you guys are going to be a tough team to beat. But on the other end, Austin, of course, same thing. Austin has been to many, many finals, not his first rodeo. He got some dogs with him as well. So, man, I'm excited to see what happens, man. I know you guys are confident going into the series. Excited to see, man. Keyshawn, anything else you got left for the people? Matter of fact, I do got one last question before I let you guys go.
Guarantee a win.
I did do the table. I did table talk. Where I did some table. I did the table. I did the table. I did the table. Man, you win this title. This is the third chip for you. Where are you putting yourself at, man? Like where are you going, man? I want to know. And I'm going to you too, Chris.
Where am I putting myself at the table?
Yeah,
man, I feel like with me, I just adapt to my team. So whatever the team needs, I'm adapting. Besides point guard, I'm not playing point guard. But anything besides point guard, I will play. I will learn my position. I will learn the personnel I'm with. I'm like a gecko. I think that, or a chameleon. I'm one of them guys. I just blend in. So one of them blending guys. So I don't know. I will put me at like 2 or 3, yo. I feel like 4 kind of crazy for me, but you feel me?
You can join us, bro. You come to the table too, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, 2-time DPOY, by the way. I mean, I looked at the stats last night. He got it, bro. He got it. I mean, that's unheard of. We never had a back-to-back DPOY, so kudos to that man.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see after the season. Season ain't done yet, so I can't even have them talks until I finish the job. So
love it. Yeah. What about you, Chris?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh. What was the question again? My fault.
So you winning this, if we're just talking ahead here. Now you winning this series, what do you think that puts you at? Where do people need to start putting respect on your name? Where do you think you fall at you win this series?
Well, I mean, off the past 2 podcasts, I listened to both of them when I was at work. But I feel like, especially at the beginning of the season, Keyshawn had some words for me like, dude, I put faith in you at point guard, and you disappointed right now. I was like, dang, like, this is my boy, but he being real. I was struggling really bad, and I wasn't on the game as much. So, I mean, I feel like if I come back, locked in, and we beat Ajante, and I didn't have like the greatest stats, but as a point guard, all I cared about is winning. But if we win this series with Ajante, then we beat them, and then we come and win the finals, I feel like you put me at 1A at point guard, because I'm adaptable. I change the way my play style is. If Keyshawn tell me to be aggressive, if they tell me to be aggressive, I'm going to lock in and go get what I need to. If it's like, hey, look, you need to run some new plays or different plays or look for this, I'm always listening to what they got to say. So I just feel like, especially winning this finals, just put me up there. Especially if we beat Ajante, then come and beat Austin. Austin has a lot of experience, and then Ajante at point guard has won multiple championships. So
yeah. And then, of course, in your locker room with you guys got Hunter, the perfect person to be able to give you the sky report on Austin. So Hunter, I mean, what do you have to say? Like, what pointers would you give this team going against your longtime friend Austin?
As long as we lock in, we're good. We just got to stay locked in. Finals is definitely different because it can go 5 games, and that's mentally taxing on a player for sure. So making sure that, because I think I've said after the first game, I think it was before the last series, I said even if we lose game 1, like we still got 2 more games to play. Like we don't got to worry about nothing. So it's gonna be a long series. So just stay locked in. Like I say that so much, but as long as we stay locked in, we're good for sure.
Hey, man,
we gotta put Hunter at the table too, yo.
Yeah.
Hunter's talk. Yeah, man, you're right.
Hell no.
I don't know. If he keeps playing the way he's playing, like I would put the push for him to get Finals MVP. Honestly, he just flipped the script. Him and Eric and Breezy. I mean, Keyshawn playing good too, but like they coming out of nowhere and putting some emphasis in game.
Yeah, I would tell you this. Please take advantage of what you guys have here today, because if there's a draft, you guys will not be teamed up.
Y'all will never be together again, bro.
Unless you know that now.
Also,
draft stocks are up.
Also, and the advice I'm gonna give y'all right now: Don't go for that possum talk that Oz be doing. Like, oh, y'all got 100. Don't go for that. Don't go. I'm telling you, because that's what he do to lull you to sleep. That's a monster over there. That's a monster. Y'all need to treat him as such. He's very dangerous. He has supreme confidence. So don't go for that talk. Lock in. Can I give a prediction before we go say it?
Oh, go ahead.
All right, I got.
Don't do it because they're here now.
I'm not doing it because they're here. This is I've watched. I played against both teams. I've watched both teams operate. I got Seirin High 3-1.
3-1.
Yep.
Hey, well, guys, you heard it here live. Watch your narrative. Finals preview. Sitting down here with Seirin. Once again, appreciate you guys taking the time out to do the finals preview. And Keyshawn, man, roll us out, man. What you got? Roll us out.
Hey, man, shout out Watch Your Narrative, man. Coming live. I ain't practiced this, so you feel me?
He also has a synthesizer on his mic. That's why his voice so deep. That's not his real voice, y'all.
Shout out you, man. Shout out Watch Your Narrative, man. Appreciate you for having us, man. We're gonna close out this chapter, man. We're gonna have some more talks, man. We're gonna have to do this again.
Hey, Keyshawn, next season.
We gonna have some talk. We gonna have some talk.